All right, I'm going to call the meeting to order. I show 11:45. William Bill Yates would like to attend today's Library Board of Trustees regular meeting via electronic means, which complies with the RPL Governance Policy 4.12. This policy is to comply with requirements of Section 2.2-3708.2 C closed 1 closed of the Code of Virginia to allow for and govern participation by one or more library board of trustees in meetings by electronic communications. Mr. Yates has met the requirement of notifying me in advance that he is unable to attend in person due to a personal matter causing him to be on travel out of the Richmond area that prevents his physical attendance of the meeting. I would like to call for a motion to approve Mr. Yates attending the meeting by electronic means from an LBOT member present. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Garrett. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Janet. Would anyone like to add anything to the agenda at this time? Is there a motion to approve the April 23rd, 2025 agenda as submitted?
So moved.
Thank you, Garrett. Need a second?
Second.
Thank you, Emily. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda consisting of the March 26, 2025 meeting minutes, the current pending deposited gifts report, and the current statistical reports as submitted? Do I have a motion?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Okay, we are all paying attention and are properly noted. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to be heard? All right, we're going to go right to the agenda. First, welcome, Shannon. You look beautiful. We want to see pictures.
Happy to be back.
Glad to have you back. We loved Monica, though.
Good.
She was lovely.
She'll be my backup.
Okay, she was great. She was great. Okay, report. Ruth, library friends report, please.
Hi there. I'm so glad I was able to make it to a meeting again. So friends are moving along with it's like book sale season again. So our spring book sale is the first weekend of May. We have moved the book sales to May now, which would be great for our organization. I have some flyers with me, some 11 by 17, 11 by 8.5 by 11 flyers with me if anybody wants one to post at either local coffee shop or at work or anything like that. This sale we will have some merchandise that we've purchased, so we are selling merchandise as well. We got some really cool little kind of support your friends, support your library, read stickers, book bags. I have been meaning, if I haven't already, gotten in touch with Jen Dool about obtaining a handful of the Ripple stuffies and paying the library for them to sell at the
Good idea.
book sale. I don't think we wanted to go in and buy 5,000 or 6,000 at once. We'll see how they go. We are still looking for new board members, though we have some good new board members in the past few months. And we are glad that Cynthia now is coming to our meetings and joining in on the discussions. And we are looking for an author to give an author talk for our fall scheduled annual meeting.
Okay.
So we've had a lot of discussion about who to bring in, and the issue is, as the library is finding out, to bring in at least a well-known author. They want a certain amount of money, or we have decided that some of the subject matter is not what we thought it was. So we were revising our thoughts about that. And other than that, I'm open to any questions.
That's great. We're glad to see you. We have missed you. Yeah.
I missed you all.
All right, the Library Foundation, Miss Revere.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for allowing me to speak. Our focus in the foundation right now is building our fundraising capacity and strengthening relationships. Current fundraising efforts center on updating the children's areas across the library system. If you've not had an opportunity to swing by Maine and see the new early childhood learning area, please do. We appreciate your thoughts on that. Our efforts in the branches are happening as we hear from the community. We are speaking with youth librarians and the library community service managers. So proposals are in process for the following opportunities. The Freeman Family Foundation, Memorial Foundation for Children, Shaberg, and Universal Leaf. All but Universal Leaf were generous enough to support our efforts last summer, and we are deeply appreciative of their ongoing support of the library. Additionally, the foundation has achieved its Platinum Seal of Transparency on Candid for another year, and we have submitted our Combined Virginia CVC campaign. Combined Virginia, help me, Emily.
I thought it was the Commonwealth of Virginia campaign.
Commonwealth of Virginia campaign. Thank you. Right, that's what I appreciate that help. So we'll be doing some outreach efforts as those opportunities arrive to raise awareness about the chance to give through the CVC. Thank you. Any questions?
Well done. Well done. Library Administration. We have Scott, and then Scott is going to introduce, and we'll get to hear from Craig. So, super exciting. Over to you, Scott.
All right, so obviously we're at North Avenue Branch Library this morning. I have to say, I was commenting to Cheryl, I don't think I've seen the library look as nice as it ever has. The outside looks great, the inside looks great, and I give all that credit to Craig Gilwalker and his team. They are doing a wonderful job in the community. Garrett and I were able to come over here earlier last month and visit, and I'm going to turn the floor over to Craig to have him talk about some of the things that he's doing over here and where he sees us going.
Just going to stand so everyone can see me. Good morning, everybody. First off, I'd like to thank you all for coming to our beautiful little library. It's kind of like my pride and joy, if you couldn't tell, but I really do love this branch into the community. One of the big things we've been focusing on is babies, children's early literacy, from honestly as early as we can get them in here up until they go to preschool. Our youth librarian, Mr. Richard, has been doing the best job bringing them in here. We just finished a baby arts play this Monday. We have another one coming up next Monday. Earlier last month, we had PBS Kids come in here for 3 Saturdays in a row for a program. Scott was in here for that. Wow. We have our Arbor Day event this Friday, actually, to celebrate Earth Day. If you came in and you saw those 4 people at the desk, that's actually GED class, and they're practicing for the big test that they're taking next week. So you got to see some of our adult programming going in here. We have 2 book clubs going on. We have our senior focus book club, and then we have a book club ran by a community member, Pam Freeman. She's looking for more members. They're here every second Thursday. If anyone is looking, we are introducing adult resume and workshop classes with the help of Abacus. They just held a job fair here last Wednesday, and they got people set up. And that's all I can think of at the moment. But at North Avenue, we're constantly trying to progress with the community. We're doing our best to set up little free libraries at all the different barber shops, and Smoky Mug is moving, so that's going to be our pilot for a little free library, is setting up them, and the goal is to have all of Brooklyn Park have like a little North Avenue, just like Bookhaven going on. We've been doing outreach at as many places as possible. We have story times at VCU, Ann Hardy, St. Thomas. We just reached out to Heritage, the adult center up there, and we are going to start setting up a book club with them. We're going to bring the books to them since they are, kind of stuck. So that we're just doing the most to spread our wings so that people know that we're a safe haven here, but also know that we're not just stuck here. We'll come to you as a community. I just wanted to emphasize that. So thank you all. And that is what North Avenue's been up to.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Board, do we have questions?
Good job.
It is a statement. This is a fantastic job.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
So I've been on a walking tour of Brooklyn Park, and it's very vibrant,
Yes.
changing community.
In a beautiful way. In a very
I could
beautiful
not
way.
agree
Like,
more.
it's-
I could not agree
And
more.
when someone opens up something new, normally the first place they come here is they come to is the library for printing out posters or menus or something like that. So we get to meet all the business owners.
Yeah.
So it's a great opportunity at the little free library project just for people to be like, oh, this came from that library, to get them in here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Our door count and our circulation is rising, but we want it to be more.
I like that.
And
Go.
when
I
GED
like that.
is finished after this semester, we're collaborating with the local elder in the community to hold morning events for the community. We're starting off with the chair fitness class, which was suggested. So this will be at the end of May, beginning of June, chair fitness. And we're doing our best to add another book club. Because
Okay.
I like to keep 3 book clubs in the library
Good idea.
on a regular basis.
Good idea.
And then after that, that's when Abacus will come in and help with the resume and the mock interviews
Yeah.
and whatnot. And then they have their job fairs on Wednesdays where they come in and recruit people. So
And with that huge retirement community, I
It's
read
so-
all the time about loneliness and isolation. You're just going to be such a wonderful
thank you.
resource.
And that what you were talking about is one of the reasons we were like, well, we got the babies in here. What's the next move? And it's like, well, what's another marginalized community that people just don't really
that
center
you are
on?
part of, that you're in
That's-
the middle of.
Right. I mean, we have several. So we reached out to one. We reached out to all of them, but one got back to us.
Okay.
But eventually, we're just going to start going door to door so that they know, hey,
Whatever it takes.
We're
I
here.
like it.
Yes, ma'am.
I like it. I'm impressed.
Thank you.
All right. Scott, do you have anything that you want to say under administration?
Well, I would just add to Craig's report, if you look at the statistical report, Craig didn't mention that it's been impressive to see how the circulation has improved at North Avenue. If you think back to, remember December 2022 when the water line broke and it flooded the building?
I remember that well.
And,
Yeah.
we had to discard a lot of books that were ruined, and we replaced many of them, but we also changed the layout of this building, and we implemented some things that we'd like to see duplicated in other places. And we've had about 2 years now to watch how that impact has been. And this year the circulation is surpassing what we did in all of 2022. And one of the things we did, and you'll notice it when you go out into the main part of the library, is we don't have the large stacks, the 90-inch tall
Right,
stacks in the middle of the floor.
So then now you have a visual throughout
Right.
the entire library. Yeah.
We've opened up the space. The collection now is on the perimeter of the building, and so browsers and library readers can more easily find things. We've also, when we eliminated a lot of the books that were here, we made a decision not to store books that weren't moving. So we have the hotcakes on the shelf, and that's what's moving. And so Craig and his team are very deliberate about making sure that we have materials that are moving and helping people find them. So circulation is up. Also, there's more space for people to use the space. And you'll see that, our door count is higher here. Craig mentioned all of the things he's doing with connecting to the community. So North Avenue is really, we are trying new things here, and I think they're showing through the statistics that they're working. And I credit the team.
And
that's
even
here.
if they don't work, keep trying new things.
Yeah.
I mean, stop them when when they don't, but keep trying new things. A loss every now and then, not a problem.
I wanted to add something to the open space thing that Scott brought up. There is a big difference because when I first got here, the stacks were there. There is a big difference in just sitting traffic, not just foot traffic, but like you said, library readers. But I'm going to replace it as comfort traffic. We have more people coming in during their lunches, being like, oh, I can just sit down. You have people coming in the morning before they have to do whatever, finding a spot, and then leaving, taking a book. And that has slowly led to our circulation of people being like, well, I'm here, let me check out 5 books, let me check out 6 books. So I am a big advocate for the open space, put the books on the wall method, because it lets people have a place to be. And one of my biggest things is libraries are the last free place you can go in this country.
And I also want to highlight the children's area. They're fortunate to have a pretty large children's area, so we're able to put in some early learning activity things. So Richard has tried, we've got a little puppet stage in there. We've got a little play area where children can, it's like a little cash register.
Yeah, it's like
and so
learning model.
you can have that active play, but you can also have literacy in the space. So he also has a small Lego table. So those are all elements we're using here in the very small space that we want to see kind of like an incubator almost for some of these ideas to see if they work. If they're working at North Avenue, we know they'll work in other places just as well. So
So exciting.
it's really great. Yep.
So exciting. Okay. Any questions additional? We've got an expert here in Craig. Anything else you want to know about North Avenue?
The only thing I'll add is that when I came up about a month ago,
Yeah.
Councilor Gibson and Scott on a Saturday morning, she was so impressed with the staff and just how vibrant the actual library was, and talked about it several times after leaving. So I think she just had a very positive impression.
Good job. Good job to all. Who were you with?
Councilor Gibson. Gibson. Gibson.
Yeah.
All right. Advocacy. That happens to be me. So we're going to talk about 2 different things, both of which we started talking about last month. The first is the federal IMLS and NEH cuts. When we talked about it, we decided it was an individual decision as to whether you wanted to approach your congressperson about the cuts. Everybody gets the ALA bulletins and the Virginia Library Association, which include all of the suggestions as to what to say. So that was, and I think that was a reasonable decision as to how to move forward. The only thing new that's happened is Scott and I are talking tonight, along with many other librarians and library leaderships, with Senator Tim Kaine, aimed exclusively at IMLS and NEH. Scott and I both feel it's important that we support the entire infrastructure of library activities. So if something cool and exciting happens, I'll let you know. If it's not time sensitive, I'll report back on that next month when we meet.
Is this in person or online? Is this in person or
It's
online?
a Zoom.
Zoom.
I love Zooms. I love them.
Yeah, I just want to follow up.
No, please.
IMLS, I heard yesterday that some states will be losing their interlibrary loan capacity. So like some rural states out west, they relied on IMLS funding to support like borrowing books from other libraries in like North Dakota or South Dakota. One state's going to lose their Hoopla subscription because they had a joint Hoopla subscription. So that'll be going away, which is we have our own subscription to it. In Virginia, the state library is probably going to lose 30 positions. And Find It Virginia will probably be losing a lot of their databases. So if these draconian cuts hold,
Right.
This is what will happen. So it'll be great to.
So you guys do whatever is right for you, but we institutionally will be doing what's right for the entire system, and we'll do the best that we can and tell you more if it's urgent, if it's not, at the next meeting. So the second thing I want to talk about is our budget. So last month, we went through we had been told it was going to be draconian budget cuts for the next 2 years. This year, not bad. But tough. Next year, really bad. And we talked about our philosophy going forward, and we created a philosophy that I think was challenging, but exactly right. And that philosophy was, we will support this administration. If they want cuts, we are not going to cry about it. We're going to suck it up. But we have momentum now, and we're going to be clever as to how we suck it up, because there's no way I want less children, less circulation, less door count. So we're going to do a few things that are a little bit different that we hadn't done before. And we talked about it and we decided, yeah, that seemed about right. And then, much to my surprise, we didn't get cuts. So that tells me, and this may not be true, but I think it is, that we're raising awareness on how important the library is. And I want to keep us pushing to raising awareness. So not only was our budget not cut, Scott craftily put in $1 million for the CIP, and that made it through. So compared to others, we're in, yeah, it's going okay. Now, Scott and Bill are going to tell us about the latest status of the budget, because it's not done until May 15th. But when we talked, I'm not worried yet, based on Scott's eagle eye paying attention. But I do have 2 advocacy suggestions I want to talk to you about. The first easy, the second not easy. The first one is, I think the next step is a simple email to council on May 15th, whenever Scott tells us, saying we're so thankful for the budget, we have big plans, and we're going to serve this community like you've never seen before. In fact, we've just broken the 1 million number for circulation. Never happened in RPL history. We're going to keep pushing. That's an easy thing. We'll let Scott guide us on the timing, but that seems reasonable to you guys, right? Okay, the second one's harder. We've done a number of emails with council. It's time to step it up. And we have the perfect, in my mind, opportunity to step it up, and that is summer. I always say summer is the magical time for the library, because we can get the little kiddos in, and it's free, it's aimed at literacy, it's rich, thorough programming, and nobody else can do what we do in summer. So what I'd like us to think about and talk about is, in May, I've already warned Scott about this, I would like some combination of Scott, the community manager for that council person area, the children's librarian for that area, and our trustee assigned to that area to show up at that counselor's public meeting. And I want one of those people to stand up and talk to the community about what we're going to do for them in the summer. Now, this summer for some is going to be tight budget-wise. They're canceling vacations, they're limiting vacations. Our numbers with schools doesn't show that we're recovering with our reading. I think we have the perfect response. We're gonna go on steroids, and we're gonna give you something this summer that's gonna bring a smile to your face. So I want you to tell me what your thoughts are about doing something like that. And then, library people, you deliver on a great summer.
We will.
Do you think it's time to be at... Cynthia goes to all of these meetings. Many of us do, but have a contingent show up, have 1 or 2 of them speak, and I'd like this to be a polished speech, not an ad hoc off the top of my head speech. Not that you guys don't do that well, but I'm a marketing person. I like things polished. Polished. So this is your time to ask questions, to debate it. I don't care what the answer is. I just want us all to be aligned. But if we are aligned, then there's a million administrative things we have to do to make it happen. So what do you guys think?
I think it's a fantastic idea. I think that, I mean, it's totally doable. We can get together and talk about Kenya's meeting coming up soon. That's an easy ask. I think just to add to it, I think if we can leave behind like a takeaway document. For the community,
I like
so
that.
they know, like, these are the,
I like that.
the programs that are specific to their branch library. I think that'll be fantastic.
Yeah, the summer reading program in my memory always has like a really good pamphlet.
Pamphlet,
Yep.
yeah.
So having that pamphlet ready to give to parents and grandparents as proof and reminders, that's great.
Did you say you wanted to do this in May?
I do.
Oh, okay.
I do.
So it's not an ongoing.
No, so here's my long term. In May, let's promise a great summer. Let's promise it to the counselor and to their community. And then in September, let's report back that we gave them a great summer, just like we promised them, in person, in front of their constituency.
I like that.
You okay?
I have a question. Don't the children come out of school in May now and go back in August?
I think it's end of May is the very end. Yeah, it's May 30th. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the time, I think it's May.
Okay.
I think it's May, that if we're gonna do it, it's May. If we're gonna do it. You guys tell me.
So the handouts will be ready by then? The normal,
Yeah.
the
They have-
normal summer stuff?
Phil was saying the posters just arrived today, and he said there's so much on it, we almost need 2 posters. So we have the copy ready to go, and we can just start putting it together for us to talk about and craft prepare a presentation that can be done. Hit the big points and leave them with a handbill that they can carry with them. Simultaneously, our children's librarians and children's staff are out there knocking on the school doors and
Perfect.
showing up at assemblies, talking
And
to
that
media
kind
center
of
librarians.
multiple
Yeah.
is a good,
Yeah.
and there's power in numbers. When one librarian shows up, it's okay. When a contingent of 3 or 4 show up, you're serious. You want people to know.
Commitment.
Yes. Okay, so you're comfortable with that as the next step?
Yeah.
We will work out when's the meeting, how we're gonna set it up, all of that. I have no idea, but I think we can figure it out. Okay? All right. Thank you. Policy.
Yes. So the policy task force has moved on to the next phase. Scott, Jana, and other staff members have helped to revise some documents that we had sort of earmarked as ones to look at. Now I'm going to take a look at these, and then Scott and I will meet to discuss or revise further, and then we'll be ready to share with you all.
Great work. Any questions for Emily? The only protection during these unsettled times is an updated, thoughtful policy. So thank you both for what you're doing. All right, we're going from reports to board committee reports, and I begin my chair report with an apology. National Library Week is from April 6th through the 12th, and I did not send a message out, but let me do that now on behalf of all the trustees, how much we appreciate the RPL staff and how we just think we are lucky every day of the week with their commitment, their creativity, their values. A couple weeks late, but just as sincere if I were on time. So from all of us, thank you, RPL staff. And now I'm going to turn it to finance and you and Bill.
I don't know if Bill joined the call or not. Did he hop on the Zoom?
Oh, yep, he's here. Let me run that over here. Okay.
Are you there, Bill?
I can hear him. It's not coming through very loudly.
Barely.
Is that Bill?
Really clear on the
Of course.
We can't hear you, Bill. We can barely hear you. I got number one. You said, and I agree. The budget has come through as Chris indicated, and pleased with that. I didn't hear the second part, Bill. And he said the budget that we have in the packet is running through smoothly. We're at 76% at this time, which is about where
Right,
we
where it should
usually
be,
are.
yeah.
So those are the two things that Bill hit.
Okay.
And I'll follow up with that, with what Bill has added. So far, the council has had 2 work sessions, one on last week on Monday, this week on Monday. The one Monday went 7 hours. They have not, and Reader's Digest version, they haven't picked on anything in our budget in terms of operations or personnel. The things they've been keying in on at the council level are COLA, 3.5%. Who's going to get that? Mayo Island and People's Budget. Those are kind of the 3 big things they've been batting around. They haven't really found any resolution. They kicked a bunch of things back to the administration on Monday. I had to answer a question. One of them was from the People's Budget. There was a request in there to add $60,000 to the People's Budget to buy technology for libraries and community centers. My response was council gave us $128 million in this year's budget, and we are replacing all of our computer workstations currently. So while we would appreciate the extra funding, we have a plan for more funding in the future, and at this time, it's not really possible for us to even consume 60,000 at this point. So we'll see what happens with those requests. Then CIP, as I indicated, and that's really kind of shadowed my facilities stuff this week and answering questions about that. I have to say that Sabrina Joy Hogg really went to bat for us and said, here's $1 million. Our libraries need these funds to refresh spaces and generally update buildings that haven't been touched in 10 to 15 years. So there haven't been any questions about it. So hopefully that will carry through. And then our facilities committee, we're going to have another challenge of how to spend $1 million as soon as we can. So that will be the emphasis of our meetings as we go forward. At this point, they have another meeting scheduled on Monday, the 28th. That is going to, it's a coin flip. It could be a short, we've accepted that they can't change a lot of the things in the mayor's budget without taking money away from something else. I haven't seen any like radical things that they can do because there's not a lot of room to change anything. Or it could turn into a marathon where they start picking over things like they did back in 2016 and we started at 9 a.m. I'm hoping that that doesn't happen, but the jury is out, so we'll see. Any questions on that?
So the 1 million is for facilities, meaning specific to branches or to the whole system?
That's what we will have to determine. So we have, we are going to use kind of the, remember when we took our tour and we identified things that we needed to do across our system? Mm-hmm. That's one piece of it, is what I would recommend. Mm-hmm. Also mobile libraries.
It could be a bookmobile.
It could be a bookmobile. It could be, I think our bookmobile discussion turned into, we don't just need, bookmobiles need to be kind of based on age. So we need one to deliver collections and do pop-ups, and we need one that maybe moves collections, that has a collection sitting on it that we can park in front of a place and people can come and get on and check out books or do activities. So
And what about staffing for it?
we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So I'm confident that we'll be able to overcome that. So it'll be great. We haven't had any money allocated to CIP since probably 2009.
Wow.
So that's a big deal.
And Sabrina.
Yeah, and it was the advocacy that happened at this board. It was the relationships we've developed, and so credit goes to Chris and the team that put that together, and we had conversations. So, and we're telling our story, so that speaks volumes for us. So, it's very positive. I'm hopeful that it's going to come through. Yeah. So.
Okay. So we won't know. Right now, we have no problem. That may change on Monday because you never know. But we're kind of optimistic that things will be okay. And Scott will tell us because he's the one who sits through the 7-hour meetings. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Yeah. No, finances are the big deal. So, this is the time to hit our numbers guy. Okay, then over to Janet with facilities.
I have not heard much from Scott. Anything.
So
From Scott.
been a little tied up with the CIP.
Yeah.
We've been continuing to working on the report and start scheduling those meetings next month.
Okay.
So
Okay.
where we're at.
So I'll
Okay.
be meeting a lot in May with,
May and June, that's our deadline. We'll get something done.
okay.
But we have $1 million. That's a good problem.
Well, we don't have it yet.
Oh, I'm being optimistic.
We have the glimmer of it. Yeah.
It's more than we had last year.
More than we had 2 months ago.
Yeah, I left the last meeting feeling kind of bummed out, but our fortunes have changed.
And who knows why? Oh, yes, I'm taking it. Yeah. All right. Anything else on facilities? Governance.
And good afternoon, everyone. Chris and I met about a month ago because we really wanted to put together an overall strategy of how we look at governance moving forward. One of the main things that we talked about was making sure, one, that we have representation of all 9 districts throughout the city of Richmond, but also making sure that we are kind of spreading the wealth of how we have the makeup of the actual board of trustees. So our strategy moving forward is that we're actually going to begin outreach now because we know we don't have anything changing this year, but as we move into 2026 and 2027 and so forth, we will have some board members that will be transitioning off the board. So we started to brainstorm on some names preliminarily, and we're going to start doing outreach to them starting next week, and setting up kind of just coffee, chat and choose, if you will. I'm just really excited and get them engaged into the library. Many of the names that have already come up are people that are already kind of users of the library and have some enthusiasm behind it. But we want to make sure that we get them now. So when we have those openings, that they're right there, ready to transition into the opportunity.
Right. I was very impressed. He had a whole list. I was very impressed. So I'm looking forward to all of the next steps. Unfinished business? Okay, good. New business. That's me again. Ooh. If you look at RPL's policy guidance, City Regulation 2.1, it states, it is desirable for the LBOT to convene an annual meeting of the Library Foundation, the Friends, and the leadership of other advisory councils. Now, since I've been on the board, we've never done that. Fortunately, and kudos to the foundation, who did it back in 2022, And even though it says desired, doesn't say required, we probably should be sitting at the table with all of our colleagues and all of our library lovers in a position to make a difference at least every other year. So it's been 3 years, haven't done it. We've never led it. Okay, let's change that. So to that end, here's what I'm going to put forward. One, we want the 3 boards to come together. We want to get this started soon. So for the past couple months, I've been working with Reagan Thacker, who is with the Library of Virginia. And you know what her whole job is? Her entire job is to support trustees, foundations, and friends. Okay, this might be helpful, right? So we talked about what would be something that we could start with that wouldn't be too hard, because we haven't done it as our group before, so we want it not to be really hard, but we want it to be useful and helpful. So her recommendation is to have a 3-board meeting about advocacy. I did not influence her at all. And it's something that she is an expert on because she works with all 3 of these groups on this topic. I brought this possibility to Janet and Cynthia, our foundation, and our friends, and they said, yeah, let's keep talking. I talked with Scott, and he's very open to it. One of the things we decided, easy topic, something we'll all benefit with, so we don't have to spend months and months deciding what are we going to talk about. We already have the topic. Because we haven't done it in so long, I want to get going. Scott and I both think an evening event, 1.5 hours, 5:30 to 7. Here, not here. Main library. Topic is advocacy. No limit on attendance. The trustees will all show up. You friends and you foundation, send however many people you want to send. And I'm talking about this like we're going to do it, and that's wrong. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about it, and if we decide to go in another direction, fine with me. If we decide to do this, I'm going to ask for a motion, and I would like us all to be in agreement that we want to move forward. And if we're not, fine, we'll do what's right for all of us. And once we get to that place, I'll tell you what I think the next steps are. So first, let's talk. We ready to do a 3-board meeting that is a low, a just get started kind of activity?
Yes.
Yes.
It's
We
over.
are?
It's overdue.
Okay.
In library parlance, it's overdue.
I think it is overdue. I think it is overdue. And when I read that we were supposed to be doing it, kind of the reason it's overdue is because we weren't doing our job. Oh my gosh.
Well, we didn't know.
Well, it's right there.
Well, you're the only one who reads that.
It's right there. Yeah. But it's desired. It's not required. So no harm, no foul. Thank you for Susan and the foundation for picking it up, because we might have never have done anything if not. Okay. Garrett, what do you think?
I'm good.
You good?
Yeah.
We okay?
Yes.
Can I have a motion? It's phrased however you want to phrase it, that the trustees will host a 3-board meeting this summer on advocacy, or however you want to phrase it. And then I'll need a motion and I'll need a second.
I'll move that the Board of Trustees bring together a 3-board meeting this summer
Thank you.
with the Friends and the Foundation.
I second.
Thank you. Okay, so here will be the next steps. If Susan, Ruth, Cynthia, and Janet can stay after, quick 5 minutes, great. If you can't, no problem. I will talk with everybody individually, but if you can, we can get started. I have already scheduled a meeting with Reagan to come up with exactly what will happen during the 1.5 hours. She has blocked off the first week of June, June 2nd to 6th. So we'll have to figure out how the Friends and Foundation want to poll their people as to which night is best, and hopefully give me 2 choices. And I will lock down, and we'll have it be the Library of Virginia as the person who runs this, so that we can all fully participate in whatever it is we want to do. So that first week of June is our target. We'll do a calendar poll. We'll try and lock it down in the next 2 weeks as far as dates. And I will keep you all posted, but it will be Cynthia, Janet, and I that will move everything forward and deal with our respective teams, okay? Ruth and Susan, I've sprung this on you.
It has been a long time.
But I feel some urgency here. Get back on. And it will be great or it will be mediocre, but at least we will start sitting together talking about common interests. So, expectations here. All right. Anything else we want to talk about? Okay, our next meeting is May 28th. It's going to be at the main library at 11:45. I wish you no allergies and a good beginning of May. Do I need to have it moved to adjourn?
No, if you're at the end of business. And there's
I am at the end. Is everyone else on the end?
Yes.
All right. All right, there we